At the time, I looked around to find a book on the subject and purchased a copy of Rabbi Aaron Lichtenstein's The Seven Laws of Noah. At the time, there was nothing else I could find in the English language. Lichtenstein's book compares the structure of the commandments given to Israel with the Noahide commandments. It is a well-researched scholarly work, but had little value as a practical guide. Seeing that I could find no basic introduction to the Noahide laws, I considered writing one, and discussed the matter with my friend and colleague, Rabbi Yaakov Rogalski. He agreed that it would be a good idea to write such a book, a guide that both Jew and Gentile could pick up and understand the essentials of this ancient doctrine. We concluded that one factor was necessary to undertake such an ambitious project. We needed the supervision of a world-class Torah scholar, a Talmid Chacham, who understood the breadth of the Noahide code. Its source in the Torah and the Talmud and later rabbinic writings, Rogalski suggested that we work with Rabbi Mendel Feldman, a leading rabbi and scholar in Baltimore. The Lubavitcher Rebbe gave us his approval and blessing and agreed that Rabbi Feldman was an excellent choice to oversee the project. After Rabbi Rogalski and I finished the first draft of the manuscript, Rabbi Feldman asked us to bring it to him and he would go over it with us. At that meeting, Rabbi Feldman examined the entire manuscript line by line, suggesting numerous additions and changes. He asked us to come back when he had finished the rewrite. About 6 weeks later, we returned to Baltimore, and once more he read through the manuscript and made a few more changes. This time, Rabbi Feldman said that when we complete the revision, we did not have to come back and he would give us his endorsement. A week later, Rogalski called me and said that there was a problem and that maybe we should abandon the project. He had that learned Rabbi Nisan Mindel, the author of many respected books, was writing his own book about the 7 laws of Noah. We agonized over the situation and finally decided that there was room for 2 new books on the subject, so we continued as before. A few years later, after The Path of the Righteous Gentile had been in the stores for a while, I happened to be visiting Far Rockaway and met Rabbi Mindel at the local Young Israel synagogue. He congratulated me on the book and asked if he could have permission to consult it because he was writing a book on the 7 laws of Noah himself. Of course, I wholeheartedly gave him permission. His book never came out. This was a defining experience for me. I took it as a general rule that when doubts creep in about a project, just go forward and trust in God. With the manuscript of The Path of the Righteous Gentile completed, my wife Aurelia and I fulfilled a 7-year dream of making Aliyah, moving to Israel. The unpublished manuscript was one of the prized possessions we took with us. We settled in the old city of Jerusalem, and I started searching for a publisher. A mutual friend introduced me to Rabbi Yaakov Yanki Rapoport, the Rosh Yeshiva of Lev Area in Jerusalem, who was one of the partners in a new publishing house called Targum Press. Rabbi Rapoport read the manuscript and was glowing about it. He wanted it, but there was a complication. Targum had a distribution arrangement with Feldheim Books, and Feldheim had to approve The Path of the Righteous Gentile, which might prove difficult. Feldman was an old guard Jewish publishing house, and ours was a book about something that could be thought of as radically new. To approach a time-honored Orthodox Jewish publisher like Feldman with an innovative book is like going into an antique shop and asking, what's new? Yankee Rapoport gave the manuscript to Rabbi Yaakov Feldheim, the head of the Israel division of the publishing house. Rabbi Feldheim responded by asking, what is this? Torah for the Gentile? Is this kosher? Rabbi Rapoport extolled the virtues of the book from a rabbinic point of view. He said that it was well researched and based on source material from the Talmud and the Rambam. He also mentioned that this book could open up a new market, Goyim. Huge members of Gentiles are certain to buy this book to understand what God wants from them. Yaakov Feldheim was unconvinced. He reluctantly agreed that he would consider it, but he had to consult with a respected rabbinic authority to see if it was kosher to print such a book.